I want to welcome everyone to our November school board meeting. We have the privilege of having one of our high school freshmen, Caleb Pluger, who is also one of my Royal Rangers, to come up and lead us, open us in prayer, and then he's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey everybody, dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the magnificent school. And I thank you for all our teachers that we have, and pray they keep us safe and have a good board meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Everybody stand. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb. Maybe a 20-minute limit.
Next on our agenda is the consent items. Consist of the agenda, minutes of the October 12, 2021 meeting, fundraiser for FCCLA chocolate sale, another fundraiser for FCCLA smart snack sale, another fundraiser for FCCLA bake sale, and another FCCLA fundraiser, community lunches. Also, overnight field trip, FFA, FCCLA, the Leadership Conference in Covington, Georgia, November 9th and 10th. And the policy for revision, FTC, naming facilities.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to accept the consent items.
I'll say.
We have a second by Mr. Reese. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. We have no one for public participation, so we're going to move on to item number 6, our non-resident enrollment request. Just a reminder that you have this in front of you to read. You see all the information. We don't need to mention names on this.
The board can see the names, the community does not. This is affecting 2 current students, and they both have positive reviews from their principals, and their principals would like them to stay. And you can read that the parent is actually buying a home or property just in the edge of McDuffie County and is providing transportation and wants to remain in our district.
I believe you said that they've been renting in Lincoln County, so that's why you've never seen this request before. They currently reside in Lincoln County.
Right.
So that's why they're requesting that them purchasing a home outside the county that the kids remain in the school system. This is, they will still be Georgia residents, so we will get FTE for them.
You will still receive FTE for each one.
I'll make a motion that we allow them to continue going to school here.
We have a motion by Mr. Madison to approve this request.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Houghton. All in favor?
One discussion point. They will be providing the transportation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can't go over the line to get them, so
Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank
Any other questions? All in favor? Unanimous. Next on the agenda is the 2022 Bluebird 66 passenger bus purchase.
We received money from the state for this bus purchase again this year. It's the normal $77,000 to make up the difference. It was in the budget that the board approved, so this is not a surprise item. We were expecting this. It just takes a little while for Bluebird to get all the pieces together, tell us the exact price and those kind of things. So this is a new 66 passenger Bluebird propane bus, as promised, continuing to buy propane buses. And the cost of that propane bus is $102,050, and I'm recommending that we buy another propane bus. as we evaluate our buses, we try to keep them around about 10 years based on mileage. So we may come back later if we need to get rid of a bus, but at this point, I'm recommending that we purchase a new bus.
Any questions about this bus?
Once we purchase this bus, this will have air conditioning.
Yes, sir. We don't buy them without. Yes,
How
sir.
many currently don't have air conditioning that are in service right now?
Fred's
Two,
pointing
Gordon.
two at me.
There's two, I think, and then some of the spare buses don't have that.
So there's two on the route that doesn't have air conditioning? Who drives those?
Colleen Leroy's on one, and, I think Robert Leverett uses a spare bus, but he doesn't have one right now. I got two air-conditioned buses in the shop.
So in theory, if we purchase this bus, we won't have anybody without air conditioning next summer?
No.
That's good.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on it? All right. I'll make a motion that we purchase the bus that's presented by Dr. Light for $102,000.
I'll say it.
And a second by Mr. Masson. All in favor? Unanimous. Next we have sound system for the high school, middle school cafeteria.
Yes, sir. We have been trying to get quotes on this for a while. We had a number of experts in the community come out and look at this, and then we eventually started talking to people in the field, trying to get enough quotes. And you can see that there's actually 3 quotes there. They are quite expensive, unfortunately, but this will allow us to get it repaired. We have 3 quotes. One's from Solution Z for $16,939. One's from AVI SPL for $18,704. And then we have one from MMI Musicmatic for $9,600. Now, in talking to Jeffrey and Guy, who are both here tonight, they are very confident that this company, MMI, can fix this problem and take care of it. And I'm going to recommend that we select MMI to repair our high school, middle school cafeteria sound system. Do you guys need to add anything?
And the biggest difference on that price, if you look through it, the equipment is pretty close on the 3. It's the labor that's so expensive on the other 2. And the guy from MMI is the only one that's actually been on site to look at it. All the other ones quoted from schematics and pictures.
So I do have a question. So this is pretty much guaranteeing it will be correct, other than if the additional speakers in the ceiling, I saw that additional
Right.
cost of $290.
Right.
When you don't know that till you get it up, but the other initial cost, I mean, because it is a pretty good difference, and I understand the labor,
Right.
but you're confident it's gonna be correct and ready to roll.
I am. And then this company's done work for the school in the past.
Okay. I like that they did come out.
I noticed that they're doing a teaching training session, and this may be Dr. Walski, but how many people are we going to have that know how to work this? Because I know that's been some of our biggest issues with, this school was only 10 years old, 11 years old, and there were quite a few things that just
Well,
we need to take advantage of because nobody
The
knew how to
plan for
use.
both the auditorium and that sound system are to have Stacy, me, Stephanie, and then Tanya and Daniel also, and then a couple of other teachers that would use that, like Mr. Hornsby and all. We want to have at least 9 or 10, and we're going to try to get a couple of students trained, underclassmen trained, so that they can keep that going with the younger kids coming through.
So they'll be part of these training sessions that they'll be offered.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Light, is this coming out of our capital or what's this coming out of?
This will be coming out of our maintenance budget.
question. What, is it a warranty on it, any kind of warranty with it?
It's a 2-year warranty with MMI.
Okay,
It's
so
a
that's-
1-year warranty with the others.
Okay. This is just a question I have, I don't know, I mean, I know that when the wrong hands get on things like that, they turn them wide open and blow up the speakers and stuff, is there something to protect against that? I mean, not the actual turning the part up, but
To keep
blow.
it from going too high.
Yes. Is there such a thing as that in this?
There it is.
Okay,
And they're simplifying the system too, unless it's kind of complicated,
okay.
so.
Well, I know we need it, it's definitely needed.
Any other questions about it? All right, we have a recommendation from the superintendent.
I'll make a motion, approve.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Hutton to approve the MMI proposal and second by Ms. Barksdale. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Cal. Next is our 2022-23 school calendar.
Annually, we create a calendar for the following year. The obvious restraints to the calendar is it has to have 180 school days in it, 190 for teachers. There has to be 10 training days or teacher improvement days, however you want to word that, and those include pre and post planning. So as we start massaging how we can meet all of those needs, we also identify the spring break as Masters Week for the obvious reason. A lot of folks participate in that in different ways. Christmas, Thanksgiving, those kind of things are pretty well established. So as we go through the calendar, I request that the principals submit a calendar from their building. If they want, they can submit two, but I always ask for one. And we sit at the leadership table and discuss it in the leadership meeting of what calendars are similar, which ones are appropriate. And as we go through each one, literally counting the days, this time we identified 4 for the first vote. We identified 4 options, A through D, sent that out to all of the faculty and staff, and they voted on 2. The 2 that they voted on were B as in boy and D as in dog. So we sent that out for a second vote, and in that second vote, calendar B as in boy had more than 70% that received that vote. So it is my recommendation through the voting of everybody in the district, 72.7%, that we recommend the more traditional calendar of calendar B for the 22-23 school year.
Any questions on the calendar?
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
All right.
You got it. Go ahead.
Have a motion by Mr. Madison to approve option B. Have a second by Mr. Reese to approve option B. All in favor?
Thank you all.
Option B. Next on the agenda is cameras in the classroom.
We've been discussing cameras in the classroom for a few years. Actually, early this year and late last year, Dr. Wolski had a couple of teachers come to him requesting cameras in the classroom, and Miss Burt's group had a couple come to her requesting cameras in the classroom. I started doing some more digging and looking and made some more connections, and through the link there on the bottom, and Michael, if you would pull that up, Cloud-12 is a company that is very popular in Georgia. They're very popular throughout the United States, actually, but they have a lot of positives going with cameras in the classroom, not only security, But also, as you read the write-up, Matt Cardoza has approved that we can use CARES $3 to put cameras in the classroom, because we can use these cameras to identify students that could be directly exposed. So if Jim was with COVID-19, I would be directly exposed. That takes very, very little time on a camera. But if Dr. Wolski's got to go around and ask Jim who was sitting by him in each block and who you were close to for a particular amount of time, that takes quite a bit of Dr. Wolski's time, or any other principal. To help eliminate that and to increase the accuracy of a student's memory, this camera system would also do that for us. It also helps with the teachers being able to film themselves creating a lesson, presenting a lesson. And if you've ever been filmed yourself in a particular event, whether it's athletics or presenting or talking in church, how you envision yourself is not what you look like on camera. And it's quite a bit different, but it will help the teachers understand how they present items. Have you been filmed on camera and watched yourself?
Right now.
If you go home and watch this, then you'll understand, but
All I can see is a ball spawn back in my head.
I can identify with
I
that.
didn't know it was there.
I had a horrible time watching myself pitch for the first time. When I went to Eastern, that was the first thing they did, was filmed every one of us. And that's not how I envisioned myself on the mound. So that still, to this day, haunts me. Michael, if you would, go ahead and play that for us.
How we educate students was predictable, and then wasn't. Enter the Cloud 12 one-device 360-degree HD video solution for education. Our video platform allows teachers to distance and hybrid educate with ease. Educators can simultaneously record and live stream their lessons. Professional development is simplified and improved. Teachers, mentors, and instructional coaches evaluate recorded lessons, leading to actionable feedback and enhanced performance. Our HD video and audio solution makes Cloud 12 the ultimate tool in improving classroom safety. Simply the presence of a camera has reduced student behavior incidents as much as 70%, creating a better learning environment. There's a good reason that there are already over 1 million Cloud 12 classroom videos created and growing. Schools are currently investing tremendous resources and solutions for hybrid learning, professional development, and classroom safety systems. Finally, there's a single video solution that addresses all these needs. Cloud 12 takes the complexity out of video, making for safer classrooms, happier teachers, and thriving students. Created by educators, inspired by outcomes. Click on the link below to request a Cloud 12 demo today.
We had the representative from Cloud 12 come out, and he met with Jeffrey and Guy first. Well, he met with me and Jeffrey first to have the conversation in regards to the technical side of this, which I wasn't much in the conversation. It was mostly him and Jeff talking. But identified what they needed, what they had available, and what we have. And Jeffrey was very comfortable with the ability of this product to help us and interface with our current setup. And we took him around to the buildings and identified what the classrooms were like. As an example, CTAE may take 2 cameras because there's basically a lab area and a classroom area. But the majority of those rooms were set up to handle one camera, and pretty much set it in the middle and observe it from wherever. And it gives us multiple positives, multiple options to be able to not only view it for professional development as I identified, also for a lot of other things. The teacher is responsible or able to control releasing that, so it's not that Dr. Wolski or Miss Arthur could be sitting in their classroom or sitting in their office watching a particular classroom. It's designed to be able to be a learning tool for the teachers, and you can also use it for the opportunity of COVID-19. So it gives us a lot of flexibility. It starts with a grouping of 10 classrooms. It makes it, quote, break even, as he calls it. If you go under 10, then the cameras are much more expensive. If you go over 10, then they're $2,500 a piece. I'm recommending that we use CARES 3 money to purchase a set of 10 at each building, one at the high school, middle school, and one at the elementary school. And that would cost us $28,000 each, which would be a grand total of $56,000 of the the CARES 3 dollars that we originally budgeted for fine arts teachers in FY '23 over 300,000. So we put that in there as a placeholder so that we could use an amendment and use that money wisely in the future, and I think this is a very wise selection. So I'm recommending that we use 56,000 of the CARES dollars to get started with cameras in the classroom.
So just to clarify, when we add additional cameras, it's the 2,500, but the basic system is already set in place.
Correct.
It's just the camera adding on to it.
That's correct.
They run on Wi-Fi?
They're hardwired.
Hardwired? Okay, that's good.
And we have that system, the hardwire already in place, so it's not a matter of having to rewire stuff.
What is do we have any idea what the total, I mean, how many we would need to do everything in the future? I'm just curious, is there any way to know that? Or we
Well, you figure we've got 104, 106 teachers, somewhere in that range, so that would give you an idea of probably 97 classrooms total.
Okay.
Because we've got some that double up in special ed at the elementary school and the high school.
Because that would probably be the end result, if that's what we would want to get to.
That would be the end plan, yes, sir, Mr. Elford. This gives us a chance to get started, identify the positives, and begin to move forward.
Has CARES 3 money been approved on it?
We have approved the original CARES 3 budget, yes, sir, but we can always assign an amendment, and we talked about that with the fine arts teachers in 2023 with that $300,000 holding block.
No, I mean, are we actually gonna receive the money?
Once we invest it, we can get the money back, yes, sir. That's already been approved and done.
Okay, I was thinking we were on CARES 2 and.
We have been,
Simultaneously.
we have been, but you're able to pull from whichever you assign it to. There's just more strings attached to CARES 3.
And this will happen as soon as we approve it, if we approve it.
We'll get the ball rolling as soon as you approve it, if you approve it.
So
yes.
we should have cameras by first of the year.
That's my hope, yes, sir. Now, if the cameras are out there on a ship floating, then we'll have
Yeah.
to wait till they get here, but that's my plan.
That was my question, did they give a turnaround time?
He didn't yet, but he's making it sound like he can get them pretty quick.
We're not in a super hurry for them, but whenever we get them, right?
Right.
Have the 10 classes been identified?
We've had teachers come forward and request that they want to be part of it, so yes, sir, that's where it would start. I don't have that list in front of me, no, I don't.
Well, I'll make a motion, we buy the cameras for $56,000 using the CARES $3.
We have a motion by Mr. Madison,
Second.
and a second by Ms. Barstow. Any other discussion on it?
The first, just to be clear, the first two schools would be the high school and the middle school.
No.
Or is
High
it-
school, middle school is one building.
Is one building?
Yes,
and
sir,
then-
and then
10 will go
elementary
into
school,
that.
so it'd be 10 each.
All right, 10 here, 10, all right, thank you, now I'm with you.
Any other questions? All in favor? Unanimous. Next on the agenda is policy for revision, Dbfa Board Advisory Committees.
Okay, this will be brought forward for 30, or set on the table for 30 days. The change is based on the law change. This is an old policy dating all the way back to 1998. And the law has changed on board advisory committees. You can see the crossed out amount there, and now it should say each school in a school system shall have a local school council meeting the requirements of state law and operating pursuant to the appropriately adopted bylaws. The difference in this is it used to be, way back when, you had to meet quarterly, and you had to have a parent group that was of mostly parents. And now the law has changed and altered to say if you are hiring a principal from outside the district that is not a current employee of the district, you must consult a local school council that consists of mostly parents to establish their interest in what they want in a principal in their building. Now, we met this requirement when we hired Dr. Walski. We did not have to meet this requirement and did not when we hired Mrs. Arthur over at the elementary school. But we did interview all the teachers, so. That's the major change to this one.
Okay, policy for review is GBA 2, Extended Day Grant Program.
Right. This extended day grant is used for, as an example, ag. Mr. McGill, Mrs. Kinney can be on this. Anybody in CTAE can obviously be on this, and it's used to provide additional days as they do things for the children in either a setup or preparation, or if the children are working with animals during the summer, showing animals, the things that they do on Saturday. It's designed to strengthen that program is what this was designed for, and it'll remain the same because they're still funding it and doing well with it.
Okay, now we'll move into our superintendent's reports.
We had, first of all, thanks to everyone that voted in the November election, and we thank you for the SPLOST vote. And our SPLOST vote was, I believe it was 412 to 216 or somewhere in that range, but 412 was the winning votes. So thank you for approving that for us. One of the items from our ESSER money or CARES money that is going to be installed this weekend is the dishwasher at the elementary school. They're delivering it on Friday, and it will be installed over the weekend. And it should be up and running after they come back and bless it. And they're supposed to hook up the electricity on Monday. And then the company comes back and test drives it and blesses it on Tuesday or Wednesday. So it should be able to run on Thursday and Friday, hopefully, if everything goes right. So that should be installed this weekend.
Anything else?
That's all I have for today.
You got anything on the elementary parking lot yet?
That's the 17th is the walkthrough for any contractors interested in that. And then we will close that out and be ready to go for the December meeting. Hopefully we'll have 3 or 5 or 10 bids. It'd be a great problem.
Okay. I need a motion for us to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive.
Motion by Ms. Barksdale, second by Mr. Madison. I want to call our meeting back to order. The superintendent has recommended, and I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Ms. Nicole Waters effective 11/3/2021.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Madison. All in favor? Unanimous. Superintendent has recommended, and I make a motion that we approve Mr. Billy Pittman as substitute teacher for the 2021-2022 school year.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Reese. All in favor? Unanimous. The superintendent has recommended, and I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Mr. Desmond Ferguson effective immediately.
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Barksdale. All in favor? Unanimous. Superintendent has recommended, and I make a motion that we increase the substitute food service and custodial workers hourly pay from $7.25 to $7.75.
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Barksdale. All in favor? Unanimous. Anything else?
Make a motion, adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Hyman, second by Ms. Barksdale. Thank you.